Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's card was a card I did for the Lawn Fanatics Challenge, Coffee, Tea, and Treats. To start with, I have several die sets, starting with Mini Snowflakes, the Build-A-House Gingerbread Add-on, Lovely Latte, Build-A-Snowman, Gingerbread Friends, this is Build-A-Drink. I just used the straw from this one. I also have Woodland Critter Huggers plus the Woodland Critter Huggers Winter Add-on. For my first mug, I am going to use E280 and E210. These are Ohuhu markers. To start with, I'm taking the lighter of the two colors and I am feathering upwards towards not quite the middle of the cup. I'm trying to keep it darker at the bottom and lighter into the top. And then I need to mark off where the liquid would be at the top of the cup because I am still going to use the outline. I don't want to have the liquid end and start in weird places. So I actually have to follow what the dies show. So now I'm going in with my darker color because I felt like it could still be just a little bit darker. And then I'm blending that back out with my lightest color. And then I'm going to go back in the other direction with my colorless blender just to try to blend that lightest color into white. Now, if you're new to alcohol markers, colorless blenders really are not to blend two colors together, but it does lighten up ink, and so it works well if you're trying to blend into white. For my next mug, I kind of missed those. It was, I think, Y145, YR148, and E310. And I'm repeating the process, this time with the darker browns, starting at the bottom with the darkest color, working my way up with the mid-tone and then the lightest color, trying to make sure that I get the top of the coffee in just the right place. Now it was at this point that I looked at this cup and I was like, you know, I kind of wish I wasn't using the outlines because this looks really cool. I could just do a glass mug, but that's for the next video. Now for the top of the liquid, I do try to keep it darker just to the left and to the right, blending out into the center. My next mug is going to have E170, Y12, and Y13. The exact same process happens for this one. I am using the feathering motion to try to get it darker at the bottom and lighter at the top. Also, a quick apology if you can hear my small child in the background playing. I have tried to put as much distance between me and him as I can, but unfortunately he's still pretty loud. And then once I've colored the coffee, I'm going to move on to the little extras. So I have the straw from the Build-A-Drink, and I'm just quickly coloring it in. I'm using G420 for this one. And for my green color combination that you will see several times, I have G320, G420, and G440. Now as I'm coloring this little holly leaf thing here, I decide afterwards I don't really like it. I was trying to make the two leaves look separate and distinct because originally I had no plan on using the berries, but this just ended up too dark. So I did redo this really quickly off camera, but I used the same colors. I just tried to go lighter with the dark ones. Now for the gumdrops, I try to keep it darker around the very bottom and the sides. For my pink combination, I have RV260, 270, and R23. And I'm going to color one of the gumdrops in this color too. This combination will get used again in other little elements, like this bow. I will say that these pinks look very neon, sort of, like they're very bright. And they don't look exactly the same when they're wet as when they're dry. So it was very strange for me, but yeah, if you get these, just know that when they dry, they're going to look a little bit better. This really seems to be the issue with the pink ones. Moving on, I have BG3, B220, and B250. This is my blue combo that you will see me use with any blue items I have. Now a random one, I am using YR240, and this is going to be for the little carrot nose. Moving back to the blues, I'm going to color some of these snowflakes from the mini snowflake die set, and I'm just going to do a couple of the different shades of blue that I already have. My little reindeer antlers are getting the same E markers that I used for the very first mug. And then when I get to the whipped cream, I couldn't find a color I liked with the Ohuhu, so I'm busting out my E50 Copic, and I'm just going to shade in the whipped cream a little bit. Once my pieces are colored, I'm going to adhere the little outlines to the mugs. For this light mug, I am turning it into a little snowman mug. So I'm just attaching the little nose, the eyes, and some little dots for the mouth. Most of this stuff came from the Build a Snowman set. And I did color the eyes and the mouth with just a dark gray color. Next up is my little reindeer mug. So the face is from the Woodland Critter Huggers die set. And I'm just adding the eyes and the nose. I've also colored these with the same gray I used for the snowman eyes and mouth. For my third and final cup, I'm going to make this into a little gingerbread. So I have my little icing swirls I'm attaching to the very top of the cup, trying to somewhat evenly space them out. And then I just have some white dot eyes and a little smile mouth. And then this cup is complete. I should say the outside of the cup is complete. Now it's time to decorate each one on the inside. So for my little reindeer, I have some whipped cream and the holly. For my little gingerbread cup, I'm going to add one of the straws, which originally I thought I would do the pink one and then changed my mind. So this one's not going to go in this one. I decided I would bring in was it the blue one? I think it was blue. I don't know, you guys. I didn't get to do my voiceover right after I got this card done. So I have the little candy cane I'm stuffing in there. And then I thought it would be cute to add some gumdrops. Oh, and there's my little straw. I just wanted some extra decoration. So for the top of my gumdrops, I am using a white gel pen just to add some dots to make it look like it's sugared. Now onto the snowman cup. Same thing, whipped cream, has a little straw. I thought it would be cute to add the little bow. And then I'm going to add the snowflakes to look sort of like snowflake sprinkles on top. Now that all my mugs are completed, I am going to move on to my background. So to start with, I have a slimline panel, and I am going to ink the very bottom of it, working up to about halfway with my Kitsched Flamingo Distress Oxide ink. I just wanted a little bit of color variation and to kind of give the mug something to sit on. I did clean my brushes not too terribly long ago, so I really had to work to ink this thing up to get it to really color on my paper. Now once it's blended how I like, I'm going to add some splatter with the exact same color, so I just smush this onto a stamp block, spritz it with some water to make it more spreadable, mix it with a paintbrush, and then I am going to tap it off onto my panel. Now for some added detail and interest, I'm going to do the same thing with Vintage Photo. I did dry the pink splatters before I started the brown ones because I didn't want the two colors to mix. Now something I hadn't originally planned, so I didn't show you this die set to start with, is using this little saucer from the Stitched Teacup die set, but I did feel like my mugs needed a little something to sit on. So I'm using each of the pink, green, and blue color combinations to color each of the saucers in. Now, I decided I was going to use the Peace, Joy, and Love sentiment from the How You Bean Christmas Cookie add-on set, and I'm going to stamp it on a banner from one of the Heart Garland backdrop die sets using bubblegum ink. And I thought it would be cute to sort of tuck this into the reindeer antlers. And then I'm going to adhere all my pieces together. Now for my mugs, I did decide to pop them all up on foam tape just to make them look a little bit more distinct and separated from the background so they didn't get lost with all that pink and splatter. Now once everything's adhered, my card is complete. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back with another video soon. Bye!